Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's minimalism video is going to be a really exciting one, and that is less but better. And I'm going to be talking about some of the more expensive pieces that I have bought in recent times, and we're just going to be going in order. So if that sounds good to you and you want to hear my take as a minimalist on is it worth the splurge, so without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. So I'm going to be showing you guys the pieces, the items that we're going to be going in order. We're going to be going in order of least expensive to most expensive. And what is my take on it? Do I think it was worth the splurge, or can you just pass and get some dupe? Okay, so the first splurgy item that I have is this. This is the Bio Silk Hair Oil. So you might be thinking, I don't think that's a splurge, Nat. That's not a splurge. So let me give you a little bit of background info. For the longest time, I have been using the Moroccan hair oil, and I'll show you guys that right now. This is like my hair holy grail. This is quite affordable. It's $7 from Walmart, and it is about 3.3 fluid ounces. So relatively, not bad, $7, right? This bottle, it's 12 fluid ounces, so it's 4 times the amount. And this is $20. So let me tell you why I think this is really bougie. If you have curly hair, you know what I'm talking about. The kind of oils that you use in your hair is like really important. It creates like the correct or totally wrecked hair texture, hair pattern. So for me, I was like, okay, when I have money, I'm gonna buy myself BioSilk. And even when I finally started to have money, I still could not justify putting something that's just oil in my hair that will get washed out. I couldn't justify it. I was like, it's a waste of money. But let me tell you for my curly haired girls, because actually I know I've seen my subscribers' pics. A lot of my subscribers have curly hair. Ladies, it is worth the splurge. It is worth every penny. I know, granted, fine, I do have virgin hair, so virgin hair is easier to maintain than processed hair. I haven't used this on processed hair, so I don't know if it's as good. But oh my gosh, if you have virgin hair or unprocessed hair, the curl pattern that comes out, she's so beautiful. Like, do you see the ribbing on this? I'm wearing this today. I did my hair today. Oh my god, look at that sheen. It's like freaking like it's beautiful. I highly think this is worth the money. We're gonna be talking about perfumes. Okay, so this one is Zara Gardenia, and this is a dupe for the YSL Opium. And then this is actually like YSL in the Libre. Toilette de Parfum, I think is this one. So it's the lighter one. So let's talk. Do I think it's a splurge, or do I think it's a save? So I've actually used this one quite a bit, if you can kind of see how much I've used. Anyone who uses perfume, you know that is a substantial amount. I've been using this for about 2 years. This was a gift from Will. I know that you can't really compare apples to pears and stuff like that, but I'm a YSL fan, so I feel like they're still within the same family, so I'm gonna compare them. So this is the Opium smell, and then this is the Libre. I was not able to get my hands on Golden Decade, which was apparently the Libre dupe. So this is what it is, and this is what we're gonna work with. I think, I'll be honest, if you don't care about the packaging, I do think that Zara's dupes are fantastic. They smell good, and I feel like they're actually a little bit better for your head, in the sense that I sometimes get headaches from this one. This is really strong. If you feel like you don't really care about the packaging, this is a better obvious bang for the buck. It's like maybe like more than double the amount. Smells really good. It actually doesn't last as long, and it doesn't give a headache. So I think that the Zara dupes are fantastic. I do think this is one that you could save the money on, and I didn't used to think that. I felt like if I could afford better, I would always want to have the real over the dupe. But now that I've had both, I actually think that the Zara dupes are actually really good. But now let's talk about the Libre. So what do I think about the Libre? I think the Libre is fantastic. I think the Libre in itself is a splurge. If you're not the type of person who cares for dupes and you don't want to dupe, I do think that the Libre is amazing. But I do want to say though, preface this, that a lot of subscribers did ask me about the Libre and the smell. The Libre is a very strong and distinct taste. It's hints of like lavender and musk. You either like it or you don't. It's a very particular smell, and so I recommend it to a lot of my subscribers. Smell it first. Make sure you like it. Try it. Spray it on your arm. Put it on the little smell card. Make sure you like it, because it's not a classic smell that works for a lot of people. I feel like it's very particular. The other thing is this thing lasts forever. Like if you one spritz and you get this on your clothes, like it's gonna stay on your clothes. Like I've sprayed it on my sweaters and it's like never left my sweaters. Like it's like a permanent smell. It's very strong. And sometimes if I spray too by accident, I'll get a headache. So use with care. But the bottle though, she's so beautiful. If you are a fan of the brand, if you really like YSL, then I do think that it is a decent splurge. Okay, the next pieces that I have, which are also YSL, I consider my YSL pieces to be my splurges. I really like the brand. So let's talk to some of the splurges. So this one I think is also a bit of a splurge, and I got gifted it by Will. Will got it for me. I was gonna buy it for myself anyway, but you know, my man is a provider, so he was like, no, let me get it for you. So he got it for me. I actually think, okay, so let's talk about the mascara. I don't think the mascara is worth it. It is really nice, and there's actually nothing wrong with it at all. But as somebody who is like a mascara girl, you guys know that I have like really long lashes naturally. I have had my fair share of mascaras in the past, and this is not the best of mascaras I've ever had. I'll actually be honest, I think the Merit is a lot better than this one. And not that they're paying me, they've gifted me the pieces in the past, but I really do think that Merit is actually better than the YSL Lash Clash. It doesn't clump, it's known to clump, so I have a lot of lash, so it spreads the product out pretty well. But I could say this is not one that I think is worth the splurge. Like, unless you're like super obsessed with the packaging, and then in which case then yes, definitely worth the splurge. But in terms of formulation, there's a lot better mascaras out there. I would say save your coin on this one. Okay, let us talk to the YSL All Hours. This is the Matte Luminous. This one is a reformulation. I never got my hands on the old packaging, and I made the decision to go with Lancome at the time, so I can't compare this to the previous formulation. If I heard the formulations that it is quite similar to the Cushion, which was like Le Pot en Croc, and that one I did have and I had used. And if I had to compare these two, I'd actually have to say I prefer the old formulation better. I felt like it had more of a like a plumpy dewiness, and as somebody who really likes K-beauty, I do prefer a more plump look, more dewy, oily, glossy look. So this one, this All Hours formulation is a luminous matte. It is a very true matte. Now that I'm like in my 30s, I'm not the biggest of fans of matte. I didn't mind mattes, and I did like and prefer mattes when I was younger to kind of counteract, I guess, like the oil of your skin. I'm actually currently wearing this right now. This one is in the shade L Light Neutral 1, so the LN1. It is a very beautiful color match. Yes, so do I think it's worth the money? I think it depends on what you're looking for. And it doesn't separate throughout the day. Like, it stays on very nicely throughout the day. Like, it's definitely worth the money. Like, you are definitely getting a really good product, but I thought I would just disclaimer that because I didn't really take that into account when I saw that it's a luminous matte. I didn't really pay too much mind. All I know is I just wanted the bottle, so I bought it. Okay, the next thing that I have that I don't know if it was worth or not worth the splurge. A lot of my pieces are very intentional, so I'm kind of biased, and I like to say that actually most of these things are good buys, but anyway, let's get on with it. So I ended up getting the Uggs in the scruffettes. Size down, you guys saw in my video that I had bought the size 9, but the 9, the floor bed, just, it's like a very awkward, there's no half sizes. It's a very awkward, it was either an 8 or a 9, and I'm like an 8.5, and it just like, it doesn't really fit. Like, it kind of does, like it just fits. Like, it, there's no give on the bed. So in that sense, I don't know if you really care about that, I would not recommend this pair. If you do think though, like, is it like a very comfortable pair? I do think the plush on this is really nice. I have the Kirkland ones, and I can compare it against the Kirklands. So I do have the Kirkland ones from Costco, and I can compare it against these. And in terms of like the plush, so let me show you guys. The plush on this is very thick, it's very luxurious. I think it is amazing. If you are crazy about the brand name, I would highly recommend these. I think that these are fantastic. If you don't really care about the brand naming, the Kirkland ones are just as soft, just as plush, and the sizing is a lot better. Not to mention that some of the detailing is actually a little bit better on the Kirkland. Like, you get the grooves on this one. I know that this series is not the Scruffette series, this is the other one, the one that is $150 if I remember correctly. But I mean, like, these are like $30. So like, this is like less than one third of the price versus these. So you really are paying for the brand name, because I do think that they are so similar. And honestly, when you have them on your feet, don't really notice. But I'm very big on branding. I know it's really dumb on my behalf, and you'd think as a minimalist I should have stopped caring about that, but it just fills my heart with joy just putting on the Uggs. They're freaking phenomenal. I would highly recommend them. I'll be honest, I think it was worth the splurge. Every time I look at them, it just makes my heart sing, and that is money well spent to me. Okay, the next expensive bougie thing that I have. I know I've made so many like videos talking about skincare, and I don't believe skincare should be expensive, and I agree. And so just hear me out how this ended up happening. Marketing 101. So you guys know the Sephora birthday gift sets? they give you like the mini samples, and let me show you. You know how Sephora gives you like the mini samples? So I was given the mini sample for the Sephora birthday set, and I was like, okay, let me try it. And it was really good, and I liked it a lot. And then I wasn't really using it because I finished it, obviously. And then Will's birthday came around, which was in December, so I got his sample and I started using that one, and I could really see a difference in my skin. So I was actually really impressed with the quality. I didn't want to love it. I was like, it's literally just purple goop on your face. Like, come on now. But once I stopped using it and I ran out, I started to see that my skin looked not as like vibrant as it normally did. And I started to think, what was different in my skincare routine? And I was like, I didn't have this anymore. Like, I had finished it, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? Once I stopped wearing, all of February, I didn't use it. And I could see that my skin didn't quite have that same like dewy pop, if that makes any sense. So for the most part, I don't agree with expensive skincare, but it was enough that I felt like I needed to treat myself to it. And I put it on, I think like one day, and the next day there was like a very beautiful sheen to my skin that like I hadn't seen in over a month, because like I had stopped using this, and I was like, yeah, this is for me. So although I do agree that for the most part, like honestly, if I hadn't been gifted this, I wouldn't have bought this, because I wouldn't think that this stuff is good. It's really nice. It has like this super cute little spoon. I'm not trying to market you guys, but if you're just wondering, do I think that the good skincare is worth the splurge? Good skincare is worth the splurge if you see a noticeable difference in your skin. If you're just buying it for the packaging or because it's super hyped, it's not worth it, because the most important thing is the results. If the product is good and your skin looks good, then yes, it's delivering its promise. But if it's just like a vanity thing and it's just sitting there and you're just like wasting money and it's expiring, then no, I don't think that it's worth the money. Okay, and the last two most expensive pieces that I have in terms of like, do I think it's worth the splurge? So last year I picked up two Scubas, the Scuba, what are these called? The Scuba Oversize from Lululemon. Do I think that these were worth the splurge? That is a very tricky question. I think one is worth the splurge. I shouldn't have gotten two, not because, you know, like I feel bad. No, I love them both. When I'm wearing an all white outfit, I wear this, and then when I wear my all black outfits, I wear this. So as a minimalist, a lifestyle suits these. So I'm very content with both. But from an extreme minimalist perspective, or somebody who's a little bit more intentional with her money, I don't think you need two, or I don't think you need some of the massive collections of like scuba zips that I've seen out there on the internet. I'm not here knocking or judging people. This is just my own personal opinion. We're talking about what I think is a splurge. I think one is fine. I think multiple might be unnecessary. I mean, like, it doesn't really, this one doesn't serve any different function from this other than just like color aesthetic, because I'm going for a monochromatic look. But did I really need to spend another $140 after tax on another sweater? Probably not. So I think that if you have money, I think one is fine, but two is too many. And three is just ridiculous. So I hope that you could have enjoyed this video. I hope this might have given you a different perspective on what intentional purchases are like. I prefer to buy expensive things that help support my life and make me feel beautiful and special and happy. I want to share that with you guys, because I don't think we need to be out here demonizing minimalism and consumerism and all of that stuff. Like, this is 2023. We are reasonable thinking adults now, so we don't need to be going on and on about the anti-consumerism dogma. Let's like think and be reasonable people. So I hope that you could have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.